October, 1347. In the port of Messina in Sicily, trading ships arriving from Genoa anchor in the harbor. But what these ships carry is not silk or spices. Bodies lie scattered across the deck. Some are already dead, others are still struggling for life. Those who survived have black and purple swellings beneath their skin, burning with fever. The harbor officials panic. They are ordered to return to their ships. But it is already too late. The disease has already reached the shore. Within 4 years, 1/3 of the continent's population disappeared. Villages fell silent, churches overflowed, and fields were left untilled. The disease began with fever and shivering, followed by dark swellings in the lymph nodes. Most people died within 5 days. In reality, the plague had begun long before it reached Europe. Modern research traces the origin of the outbreak to Central Asia, in the lands of present-day Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. In the 1330s, merchants traveling along the Silk Road unknowingly carried a microscopic killer with them, the bacterium called Yersinia pestis. This bacterium spread through fleas living on rodents. The disease had 3 different forms. This deadly combination allowed the disease to spread at an uncontrollable speed. The plague moved westward from Central Asia like a massive wave. During the siege of the city of Caffa in Crimea in 1346, the Mongol army hurled the bodies of soldiers who had died from the plague over the city walls using catapults. As Genoese merchants fled from Caffa, they carried the disease with them on their ships. When the plague reached Constantinople in 1347, it quickly shook the Byzantine Empire. Even the son of Emperor John VI lost his life. From there it spread to Alexandria, North Africa, and then to Sicily and the coasts of Italy. By the end of 1348, half of the city's population had died. Giovanni Boccaccio recorded what happened in those years in his work Decameron. The streets were filled with corpses, people avoided one another, children abandoned their parents, and parents abandoned their children. By mid-1348, the plague had spread to France. In Paris, the daily death toll exceeded 800. It reached England in August 1348, entering through the ports of Bristol and Southampton. By 1349, it had engulfed the entire British Isles. That same year it reached Scandinavia, and by 1351 it had spread to Russia. The disease did not only kill people, it also shattered the entire social structure. As agricultural workers died, fields could no longer be cultivated. Cities turned into ghost towns. In many places, there were not even enough people left to bury the dead. In Venice, a special cry was invented for those carrying the coffins. Morti portate! Why were so many people dying? Where was the disease coming from? In 1348, the Paris Faculty of Medicine published a report claiming that the alignment of Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars under the sign of Aquarius had poisoned the air. The Church interpreted the plague as a punishment from God. The flagellant movement emerged, groups traveling from city to city, whipping themselves while begging for God's forgiveness. Thousands of Jews were massacred, entire Jewish communities were destroyed in cities such as Strasbourg, Mainz, and Worms. By 1351, the first great wave of the epidemic had slowed. But the world it left behind was very different. Europe's population had fallen from about 75 million to below 50 million. The loss was so great that it would take 150 years for the population to return to pre-1347 levels. From the perspective of the working class, surviving farm laborers and craftsmen could now demand higher wages. From the perspective of the working class, surviving farm laborers and craftsmen could now demand higher wages. The authority of the Church was also shaken. This disappointment, which fueled a spirit of questioning, helped lay the groundwork for the Renaissance and the Reformation in the centuries that followed. The image of the danse macabre showed kings, peasants, clergy, and children all holding hands and following death. It reminded people that no one was exempt, and that true equality existed only in death. In 1377, Venice began forcing arriving ships to wait at sea for 40 days. This practice was called quarantine, derived from the word quaranta. This word we still use today is a legacy left to us by the Black Death. The Black Death did not only take lives, it also ended an era, leaving behind a completely different world.